Hello, Pisces. I hope you are having a lovely week. And it's the weirdest start to an intro ever. It does help if I plug in my brain before I start speaking, really. Right, okay. I didn't get much through for you intuitively overnight, and then as soon as I sat down with your cards, it all started to come through in a big barrage. So, the only thing that I saw visually was two foxes snuggling, and one was an older fox and one was like a smaller fox or younger fox. And they were snuggling really tightly together. The image was quite zoomed in on the foxes, and all I could really see other than that was some like dried autumn leaves on the ground. So I don't know if that's something for somebody. As I sat down and started to pull out your cards, and I got my notebook, I saw the whole of the moon from the notes from yesterday's reading, which was Aquarius. So I don't know if you have an Aquarius placement or you're on the cusp, but this could be something there for you that's kind of spilling over from that reading, because you saw the whole of the moon. So what I'm kind of getting here is I'm picking up on two energies. So I've got this King of Cups energy and this Page of Cups energy. Now, all these are kind of Pisces for me, and I suppose the Ten of Cups can be Pisces too, but it's kind of on the bottom of the deck and it was looking at me like it wanted me to pull the card out. So the Moon card is typically your card in the tarot, but also the King of Cups and the Page of Cups are also Piscean energy for me. So this is either two separate people. It could be two Pisces or two people with Pisces placement. It could be that one is you and one is another person. It could be one of these is you and the other person has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It's just for somebody else. You know, it's a general reading, so take anything that resonates, leave anything that doesn't, as usual. I may just have to budge you over slightly so I've got a bit more room here. Or this is two aspects of yourself, because the King of Cups is traditionally a masculine energy. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a male. He, she, they, take it as it resonates. It's more about the energy, the character of the card than the gender of the card. But typically, King of Cups is masculine, mature energy. And the Page of Cups is typically feminine, younger energy. And the way that I've set these cards up, it's like what I'm kind of getting is there's this young female energy. So it could be you when you were younger, right? You when you were more naive, you when you were more hopeful, when you were more dreamy. But then there's this sense of this maturer energy. Again, it could both be you, it could be you and a different person. Doesn't necessarily indicate age, it indicates the soul or experience. But this is a more mature energy who has been hurt, who has... It's almost like the bubbles burst for me. It's like this was the dream. This person was really hopeful, really optimistic. She's kind of on the beach with these like shallow waters as well, though. It's like almost like the emotions. It's not that she doesn't have deep emotions. It's that her emotions are just kind of surface level. She's not properly explored them yet. Perhaps she hasn't got to those darker regions, the dark, cold regions of her emotions, right, that are deeper down. So this is kind of like surface level, and it's also coming through that kind of the Piscean believing in the dreams, believing in the fantasy, believing in that the Ten of Cups is possible, where this other energy is coming through is much more jaded. You can see he's got this real like deep sea there behind him. It's much more turbulent as well. So this person is more experienced. They've seen more about the realities of life, the harsher side of life, and they, I think, don't believe in the dream anymore, or that maybe they do believe in the dream, but they're also focused on their fears. The Moon card can represent fears, and secrets and hidden agendas. It's like this person sees the wolves, right? This person sees... all they see is the happily ever after, the fairy tale, but this person has seen the wolves that dress up as the grandmothers and eat Little Red Riding Hood. So I feel like this energy is not that this is a negative person. He's coming through as a very caring, compassionate, fatherly energy, where it's like he almost wants to protect. Maybe this is you and this is your children. So it's like this person wants to protect the dream. It's almost like this person wants to keep this person happy. They don't want this person to experience the harsh realities of life that lead them to become jaded. It's almost like they want them... It's almost like this is precious. It's young and precious. And it's almost like... It's like, well, how do I deliver this dream while also protecting this person from the scary things out there? So that's what I'm getting through with that. So you saw the whole of the moon. You just stayed in your room I saw the planet, you saw the whole of the moon. It's like you saw. It's like something to do with like fantasy. This person with their imagination, they don't even have to go anywhere. They It's almost like they have a higher perspective. There's kind of like a purity with it. It's almost like, like children are the innocent, they're like meant to be close to God and this kind of thing. So there's something almost like, again, taking religion out of it. I'm just trying to communicate what I'm getting through. So it's like if you look at these children playing on this card, it's like so pure, so innocent, so like they haven't been jaded yet. And with that, there's a kind of purity of, because they're happy, why can't everybody else be happy, right? Um, yeah. Right, okay, I'm going to keep going. Um, my note for this is hurt in the past, shy, sensitive. Um, the first song that came on when I woke up this morning was The One and Only by Chesney Hawkes. My nose is clicking again. I'm just going to stop and deal with that and be back in a second. Okay, so yeah, The One and Only by Chesney Hawkes was the first song that played for me when I got up this morning. And yeah, I'm just thinking about that song. Like, it's like he's had some kind of experience. I'm getting a very common theme of like Hollywood. So I'm going to come back to that sort of again and again. It's just being confirmed for me constantly. Excuse me, I'm getting a tickle in my throat now as well. The One and Only by Chesney Hawkes. So it's like this person, he's saying, I've had my silver screen moment almost, and like he, it's like he is a little bit experienced, and it's almost like no regrets. It kind of is coming through a little bit as My Way by Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. So it's almost, this is this person. Call me by my name. Above my station, pride and dignity. So he's like, at least I conducted. I may have been above my station in life, but that's very old fashioned. But at least I conducted myself with pride and dignity. It's like, at least I avoided all the corruption that could have got hold of me. It's like, I'm pleased with who I am as a person. I'm pleased with my decisions that I've made. And it's holding himself in high value. I am the one and only. So I don't know if this is like a love relationship, or it's like, you're also your unique you. I value you for your uniqueness, for your purity. Or if this is, again, like a fatherly energy protecting, or a parental energy, or a guardian energy, right? Protecting a younger, more naive energy. Again, both Piscean. So it could just be different aspects of yourself. The part of you that wants to believe in the fairy tale, and the part of you that has experienced the darker side of life, kind of at odds with each other. So Call Me by My Name. Now, I'm getting a lot of Doctor Who through. I've been getting it for a couple of days, but I feel like it's for you. So there's a common thing that I'm picking up on with Call Me by My Name. Doctor Who, or the Doctor, the Doctor isn't his name. It's like nobody knows what his name is. I think apart from River Song, who is like his wife. So it's like he has a true name, but he keeps it a secret. The moon card can indicate secrets. And then there's I also started to watch Cats yesterday. Yeah, I know, right? That controversial Cats film. I only watched maybe like about a quarter of it, not very much of it at all. But there's a scene in that where the girl's kind of being inducted into the gang of cats, and he said this, the leader of the cats kind of says to her, we have three names. Cats have three names. We have the name that's given to us by the humans, kind of like a street name, and then a name that we call ourselves, but you don't ever tell anyone. So there's something about a secret name. Call me by my name. So it's like River Song, cats, like, I don't know. Maybe someone has like a secret pet name for somebody. I don't know what that is, but it's for somebody. So maybe it's ringing bells, maybe it's not. Just leave it if it's not. It doesn't mean it's not your reading. It's a message for somebody, right? It's a general reading. Bits and bobs of stuff here for everybody. Then I kept seeing the first episode with Amy Pondin, where she's a little girl, and he comes in and entertains her, and they're eating fish fingers and custard, and then he goes away. He's like, "I'll be back in a minute," kind of thing. I can't remember exactly the time frame, but he's like, "I'll be right back. I'll be back in 5 minutes," something like this. And the little girl is sat there in a little red coat, and she's sat on a suitcase waiting for him, and she waits all night for him, and he never comes back. And then it's like that dream, it's like she was going to go somewhere, she was going to go somewhere, she was going to have this adventure, and it's like he didn't keep his promise. And then she was like, was it real? Was it even real? Did I imagine it? And she goes to like therapy, and she grows up, and then she's an adult, and he comes back, but he's lost track of time. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand that it's not been five minutes for her, it's been like a big chunk of her life. So I don't know if you've got someone who's like returning from your past. And there's also this kind of like, when he leaves her, she's a child, but then when he returns, she's grown up. So I don't know if there's something like this going on for you. But there's this thing about the suitcase. It's like, are you going to take me with you? Are you going to come with me? Are you going to go on this adventure? Something like this, because I was also getting Staring at Your Window by Bon Jovi again. Yeah, and I wrote down, "Are you coming with me?" And then I channeled All the Way by Frank Sinatra. I couldn't remember who sang it. I was just getting, the opening line, "When somebody loves you, and when somebody needs you." And that's all I could kind of remember. That's all that was coming through. So I looked it up, and yeah, All the Way by Frank Sinatra. It's like, "Are you coming with me? I'm coming all the way." It's like, "I am your one and only. You are my one and only. All the way." But then returning to this thing about Hollywood and broken dreams, the first song that randomised for you as I started to pull cards was Lullaby by Sean Mullins. Now it's funny because I almost put this on the song list for Aquarius yesterday. Their last song it was randomised. Their last song that was randomised was Alan Walker, "Sing Me to Sleep." I keep getting stuff about lullabies. So yeah, "Sing Me to Sleep." And I saw Lullaby on the list of videos and didn't put it on. So I really feel like I wasn't meant to put it on yesterday. Instinctively, I didn't put it on. And then it was the first song that randomised for you when I actually randomised a song during like setting up your reading. So I said, I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. It seems like everyone's got a plan. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. So it's like it was giving me the beginning of the beginning and the end, I think, of Pretty Woman, which again is set in like Hollywood. And there's a guy there. He's kind of like a street preacher or something, and he's walking around going, "Everybody comes to Hollywood's got a dream. What's your dream? What's your dream?" And I was memeing this last night because I was watching a documentary about Eliza Lamb, who is it was a very controversial death that happened in the Cecil Hotel in I don't know if it was specifically in Hollywood, but it was in that area. Very, very controversial, very high profile death. And yeah, it's this 4-part documentary on Netflix that I was kind of watching about it because I've been doing Motel Cinderella and kind of joking about that on my gaming channel. So, yeah. And she was this girl, I think she was from Canada, and she again had all this fantasy about wanting to travel and wanting to experience all the things that she could experience in life. But it's almost like she was living in a bit of a fairy tale. She had bipolar disorder, so she had a bit of an element of fantasy going on in her brain, which just before her death kind of manifested itself with almost like tripping or seeing things that weren't there. She wasn't in reality. I feel like I'm talking about this for a reason. Again, everything that comes through happens for a reason. So again, the moon card, secrets, feeling detached from reality. These cards mean being in a fantasy, being in a fairy tale. So this kind of detached from reality or not really seeing the underbelly of what's going on is coming through quite strongly. So she travelled on her own, bless her, this girl with mental health problems, and she went to Hollywood, right, trying to find the dream, and she found herself on Skid Row where she really saw the worst parts of that city where you've got all the homeless people who have awful problems. You know, they talk about the Cecil Hotel and how, you know, the history of that hotel and all the horrible things that have happened there. So there's really desperate people in that area. So there's this real conflict for me at the moment between kind of like the dream, right? You know, the high-rise buildings, the stuff that's advertised on the travel brochures, and then the realistic underbelly of a place where the wolves are. And this person knows this. So what I'm going to come back to that again. I'm just going to keep going through my notes for now because I don't want to kind of get too far off track. So the notes I've got from Lullaby, it's talking about this girl who grew up with this. She grew up, you know, in the Hollywood lifestyle, that her parents threw parties, everyone was there. And it's like, but she's not happy. It says she feels safe now on this in this bar on Fairfax, but I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. As these songs played, the rabbit card fell out of this deck, which always talks to me about being on edge or feeling a bit frightened, and I got completely cold. It's like, you know, when people say they get scared and they just go, like the blood drains from them, you just go completely cold. So this fear, again, the moon card represents fear sometimes, scared. And then there's another line that says, her friends tell her she's so pretty, but she'd be a whole lot prettier if she smiled once in a while. So it's that thing, isn't it, that people say to you. I've had it happen to me when I've been walking up the street and I've got resting bitch face. You know, I'm like, I can be perfectly happy, but I look like I'm about to murder someone myself. Like proper, like walk around with a grimace on my face. So I've had it where people have said to me like, oh, you know, chin up, Chuck, it might never happen, or, you know, give us a smile, these kind of things. And people are doing it well-meaning. It's like well-intentioned when people say these kind of things to you. It's just a different generation of people who want people to be happy. It's like, oh, there's a young girl. I mean, I'm not young anymore, but it still happens from time to time. It's like there's this girl, you know, she should be smiling, she should be happy, she should be enjoying life, but you don't know what's happened to her. I saw someone say once, I can't remember who it was, I don't know if it's somebody I know personally or if it was like a meme going around the internet, but it's like, you know, smile, it might never happen. And the reply was, it already has. Like this person had experienced something awful that day. You know, the parent was in hospital or something horrible. It's like the worst has already happened, you know. Don't tell me to smile. They're giving me, 'cause I ain't got nothing to smile about. I feel like it could be Kesha. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. Weapon in my mind. I'm going to give me a minute with that one. Okay, so I've looked it up. It's Halsey, Nightmare. So the lines that I was kind of getting was, um, come on, little lady, give us a smile. No, I ain't got nothing to smile about. I got no one to smile for. I waited a while for a moment to say I don't owe you a goddamn thing. So yeah, no, I won't smile, but I'll show you my teeth. And I'm gonna let you speak if you just let me breathe. I've been polite, but I won't be caught dead letting a man tell me what I should do in my bed. Because kindness is weakness and worse your complacement. I could play nice or I could be a bully. I'm tired and angry, but someone should be. So it's like I'm fed up of this. Like I'm fed up with the way that the world treats people almost. Like, come on, little lady, give us a smile. No, I ain't got nothing to smile about. So the other line that was standing out for me was, I've got to recognise the weapon in my mind. They talk shit, but I love it every time. And I realise I've got to recognise the weapon in my mind. Someone like me can be a real nightmare, completely aware. But I'd rather be a real nightmare than die unaware. But I'm glad to be a real nightmare, so save me your prayers. I'm getting very hot. I ain't no sweet dream, but I'm a hell of a knife. It says night. I ain't no sweet dream, but I'm a hell of a night. But I'm reading it as knife because it's like the pen is mightier than the sword. Knives in the tarot talk about communication and uh, strategic thought and action. So it's almost like This is what we should have. This is what we should have. But this is what we have. This is the happily ever after. This is the fear. So it's this duality again of like what you're expected to be. Come on, little lady, give us a smile. And it's like, no, I ain't got nothing to smile about. I've got something to fight for here. I've got a war to win. There's things that are going on that I can't accept. Again, you keep getting this. And I know one of my Pisces friends said, you know, actually that means a lot to me right now. But it's give me this I can never get it right, but it's like, give me the courage to change what needs to be changed and the wisdom to accept what can't and all that business. But it's like no, I'm not accepting it. I'm not lying down. I'm not letting this, I'm not accepting it. I'm fighting here. I'm gonna fight for change. That's what it feels like. And it's like, I'm gonna use my mind, I'm gonna use my words, and I'm gonna change things. I'm like, don't call me little lady, because I'm no sweet dream, but I'm a hell of a knife. Yeah, somebody's fighting. Sorry, going back to Lullaby, she's seen her share of devils in this angel town. Yeah. Then, unbelievably, and again, it's the kind of thing that I wish would happen on camera, the next song that randomised for you. So your first song was Sean Mullin's Lullaby. And the next song was All the Good Girls Go to Hell. Again, she talks about California. It's coming through so strongly. What I got from this song today was pearly gates look just like a picket fence. Got friends, but I can't invite them. It's like, don't walk into a trap. Don't get caught up in some kind of... They're giving me, what's your dream? Don't get caught up in someone trying to sell you a dream, like a false dream. So again, I think they're showing me like a travel brochure. It's like everything looks really good on the leaflet. Again, sorry, they're spamming me with things. Now they're spamming me with... there's a scene in Schitt's Creek where Alexis, the young girl, she's returning to education, and she goes to a college or some kind of school or college, and it looks really good on the brochure. It's like got trees and everything, but the building that she goes to is not even the same building. They just got a building off the internet. And they're like, look, if you look closely, you can see the watermark. It's just like a stock image. And what was offered in the brochure was very different to the reality when she got there. So do be careful of this kind of situation. Got friends but can't invite them. Because this is what happens if somebody's trying to prey on you, especially if you're a young girl, the strategy is to separate you from your friends. You know, you could be in a relationship where somebody's abusive and they stop you going out and seeing your friends, they stop you contacting your friends, or, you know, they're trying to cut you off and isolate you. So just be very, very wary if that happens, or you feel like that's starting to happen, because that's not good. Again, I asked for the most important messages to come through that are going to do the most good. So if somebody is walking headfirst into a trap, like, obviously that's why they're going to communicate that sort of thing. So again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. It could simply be because I've been watching those Elisa Lam documentaries. They're just like, oh yeah, we want to talk about that some more, right? It could be it could almost be like the messages that are coming in are returning from the things that I've been doing. So something there for somebody. I'm just trying to bring up Spotify now so I can randomise you a song on camera. Be interesting to see what you get. I was also sort of getting Bad Guy again by Billie Eilish, because I was trying to clean my camera lens and I was going like breathing on my camera lens, and she does that at the end of Bad Guy. So I'd be surprised if I just wanted to mention it just in case that happened to randomise. We'll see. Okay. Pisces. What is going on here for Pisces, please? Pisces. Tatva. Well, that's a random one. That is definitely breaking from the theme, isn't it? Like the flower in the scent of summer, like the sun and the shine. The truth may come in strange disguises. Send a message to your mind. I don't know. Take that as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I was very into Cooler Shaker at the time when they released that album. Okay. I am adjusting because I am not comfortable right now, so I'm just moving some of my tarot decks out of the way. I keep seeing the Emperor as well. So I don't know, maybe if you're getting a new job and you need to relocate, just be a little bit careful there. Right, Pisces, let's move these up for you so these are up and out of the way. I mean, it may be that there's, if you're starting something, it may be that there's nothing to fear. There may be literally there's nothing to fear. Your happiness is right there, but you're being very sensible and you're thinking, you know, maybe your fears are acting up where it's like, oh my God, what if I do get murdered? Which, you know, fear is healthy. Fear is a tool in our human toolbox. So whatever you're scared of, don't let that act as a barrier. Act on it, act on the fears. So do everything in your power to keep yourself safe, to make sure you've got appropriate contacts in your phone. You've got contact numbers written down as well in case you lose your phone. You know, all these safety steps, you know, Google safety measures if I'm traveling, safety measures if I'm doing such and such a thing. Have something in place where you contact someone at the same time every day, and if you don't contact them, they contact the police. You know, all these kind of things that you can put into place to make sure that you're safe. Make sure you have contacts to the place where you're going. Like, I believe that Eliza Lamb, she didn't know anyone there. She didn't know anyone at all in the city, so she had no friends there, nobody to help her. So when she did presumably stopped taking her medication, and she started to experience a bit of a trip, she didn't have anyone looking out for her. This is the thing that I wanted to have a whinge about on camera. And again, this is the thing about changing things, because I was watching this and I was like, that poor girl, the fact that so many people saw her experiencing you know, a delusional episode. You know, she was acting very, very strangely. She was a 21-year-old girl on her own in a big scary city, and literally, like in America, 21 is the age of finally you're an adult and you can drink. She's literally still, she's so vulnerable in such a vulnerable place. And I thought it was so awful, because she actually, there's so many opportunities to help her, and again, she didn't have the capacity to help herself. If she was off her medication, if she'd missed one, you know, if she'd missed a medication once, she could have lost the capacity to moderate her own medication. So she was sharing a room. She had like a shared room with other people, and these other girls were like, she's acting freaky, we want her out of the room. And so the hotel moved her to a different room. She was acting weird in different parts of the hotel. The hotel staff knew that she was not in her right mind, but they were so jaded. And again, this is the thing, they were so jaded because things like that happened every single day. And the hotel manager in one part of it is saying, what would I do? I could call the police, but the police would, you know, in my experience, they never respond, or they respond too slowly. You know, they're so overwhelmed and they're so busy that they wouldn't waste the time on this. But it's like, how do you know? If that hotel manager had sat her down and said, look, I'm worried about you, is there anyone I can contact? Can I contact your parents on your behalf? You know, that could have saved her life. If the hotel manager had called the police or called social services and said, look, I need somebody to come and have a look at this girl. She's a young girl, she's on her own, she's acting strangely. They knew she was on her own. And it's like nobody wanted to take responsibility. Nobody cared. Nobody cared until she died, and that's sad. And then it's like everybody felt like a friend because they were going through a Tumblr post, and it's like, well, that didn't help her when she was alive, did it? So I'm angry. My tongue is sharper than a switchblade. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that was coming through. So it's not okay. It's not okay that, and again, this is not my city, it's not really for me to say, but as a human on this planet, you know, when you see something that's not okay, we as humans collectively need to do something about it, and not just try and corner people onto one street or brush it under the carpet or not look at it, or, you know, only care when people die. That's not okay. So yeah, the girls that were sharing a room with her, why none of them said, you know, are you on medication? Are you taking it correctly? Or, you know, why? I mean, maybe they did, but you don't hear anything about their side of it. You know, one of them could have said, can I speak to your parents? Or like, you know, encouraged her to call her parents and say, look, something's not right. So many opportunities to save that poor girl's life, and she was so vulnerable, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. And people are responsible. Society is responsible. Right, okay. So I don't know why that has to come out in your reading, but it does. And again, you do tend to get things about, you do tend to get as a common theme in your readings things about seeing the best in people, looking at society and seeing the things that are wrong with society and wanting to make things better. You literally had paint the whole world with your rainbow in your last reading, so I'm not surprised that this is coming out for you. It's kind of like a bit like activist energy. So who's Pisces, please? Who is Pisces in their own reading? Who is Pisces in their own reading? Sorry, they're giving me everyone comes to Hollywood has a dream. What's on the underlying? Dragons, slay them all. Slay them all, Pisces. I'm taking that for you. Nostalgia there too, look. Nostalgia, focus on the here and now. Villain, you can always rewrite the story. Sword, make the change. Okay, but what's come out for you? Dragons, slay them all. Garden, something lovely will grow from this. And potion, remember to practice self-love. Okay. 6. You've got 2 6s here. 15, 1 and 5 break down to a 6. 3 6s. Oh my god. Oh my god. You've got 666. Now, I don't want to freak anyone out here, but my hand has gone very cold all of a sudden. And it's funny, you've got that, the Billie Eilish song, All Good Girls Go to Hell, My Lucifer is Lonely. You've literally got 666. And I'm not superstitious in that way, but just give me a second. Okay, yeah, this is really crazy. I'm going to come back to 66, but just to kind of show you the timestamp there, if you can see that 66%. Sorry, my battery is at 66% as well, as I'm ended up Googling song facts for Tatvar. I just wanted to check on it. Tatvar is a Sanskrit word that means principle, reality, or truth. According to various Indian schools of philosophy, a Tatvar is an element of reality conceived as an aspect of deity. Although the number of Tatvars vary depending on the philosophical school, together they are thought to form the basis of our experience. I don't know what that's about, but it's there for you. Okay. Maybe that's something you can look into a bit more deeply. I actually wanted to Google the numerology meaning of 666. Beyond kind of the obvious thing that pops into everybody's head, right? And the obvious thing that's coming through with the songs that have come through for your reading. I'm just going to have a quick look and see what it says. You could be too focused on materialism. Wake up to a higher spiritual truth. Don't be afraid, but you may need to wake up to a higher spiritual truth. Take the next step on your personal spiritual path. So it says it's an angel number. Angel number, are you out of balance or paying too much attention to a certain area of your life over another? You may have developed an over-attachment to something unhealthy through a relationship, substance, or negative thought pattern. That's from numerologysign.com. But 6 are to do with... the number 6, it's what, sorry, on the timestamp as well, there you can see 1444. 1444. Fours are about stability, foundations. That again is 144, I believe, is an angel number. You can go and look it up, maybe have a look at numerology. But yeah, you've got 5 6s in total there and 3 4s. 4s are about stability, foundations, building on solid ground, feeling secure, so it can talk about home and things like this. 6s are about it can be past life relationships, destiny, soul purpose, friendship. Again, numerology isn't exactly a specialism, so you may want to go and look that up yourself and just kind of look into that aspect a little more. That's your homework, Pisces. Right, okay. Did you have the reading where I'd had a dream where I was literally, I was part of a team of people fighting a dragon? What on earth? Dragons, slay them all. When, obviously, slay doesn't literally mean like hurting people or using violence. That goes without saying. Swords in the tarot and slaying would represent communication, slaying with words, right? My tongue is sharper than the switchblade. When the heart is involved, people don't always have the best intentions. They will pretend they're good for you, only to find out that they're toxic or even abusive. The time has come to face your dragons, and you must slay them before they slay you. Of course, don't literally slay them, but make sure they know that you won't stand for their mistreatment. So it's standing up for yourself. Oh, Pisces, yes. Because you are one of the signs that's most vulnerable to manipulation, especially when the heart's involved. You will let people literally walk all over you. Again, depends on all your other placements. Some people are going to be more able to stand up for themselves than others, depending on all the different placements in your chart. But Pisces energy by itself is very much like rose-tinted glasses, forgiving people when they've mistreated you, because you care so much. But you have to value yourself as well, and that's what this says, right? So let's go to this one next. Oh, who else had a reading like this? I think it was Sagittarius. Somebody else had a reading where it's like, literally, you're in a toxic situation, get out. Remember to practice self-love. You're familiar with the concepts of self-love and self-care, but either you've never actively practiced them or there's something you've fallen behind on. Either way, you should get back on track. Keep yourself maintained in all ways, big or small, and this can mean calling it quits to take a luxurious bath instead, or this can mean putting on a rosewater face mask and getting out your planner so you can sort your life out before it gets too out of control. So, yeah, it's like draw the line is what I'm getting. Draw the lines of what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable, what you're willing to put up with and what is crossing the line for you. And don't let people cross that line. Be like, if you cross that line, this is the consequence. You know, if you hit me, I'm walking out the door, as an extreme. You know, no one should be experiencing physical violence, but that also goes for kind of like domestic abuse and things like this. If, you know, there's certain behaviors that you put up with and certain behaviors you don't. You know, if you want to have a drink, that's fine, but you stay somewhere else. You don't come home if you have a drink. Whatever the rules are for you, draw the lines and stick by them. I'm getting another song. Okay, I've got it. It's New Rules. I think it's by Dua Lipa. I got new rules, I've got them. It's about drawing up new rules, drawing up new boundaries, saying, I know that if I talk to you, I'm going to end up in bed with you, so I'm not going to even talk to you. So it's really kind of taking a cold look at behavior patterns, and drawing those boundaries, drawing those lines that you will not cross, okay, and you're not going to allow other people to cross them either, whatever that means for you. Okay, it can apply to a lot of different situations. It could be at work, it could be all sorts of things. But I feel like if you draw the lines, then you're going to be able to put down the sword. You're going to have made things clear, and then something lovely will grow from this. Either we sit around and dwell on our pain, or we learn how to grow something lovely out of it. Ready or not, it's time for the next chapter in your life. Do the thing you feel you most need to do in order to aid your healing, even if it feels selfish. Someone needs to be a little selfish in order for it to work in the long run. Worry about focusing on you for now. Okay. Maybe it's like you've got to save yourself before you go running around saving everybody else. I'm getting uncomfortable. My back's really hurting. I did a bit of yoga yesterday, but I feel like I need to do a proper yoga session specifically for my back area. I think sitting on the floor and sitting at the computer all day, like helping my son, it's getting a bit much. Oh, look who's on the bottom. Yuck. I think again that came out in Sagittarius' reading. I don't know if you're dealing with a Sag or you've got Sag placement. Maybe you need to team up with the Sagittarius. I don't know. Right. Okay, sorry if you saw that quick stop and restart. It was just to, I was approaching the 40-minute mark and I didn't want it to cut out sort of midway through me speaking again. So who are you going to meet on this journey? Who is Pisces going to meet on this journey? A dragonfly. Haha, it's funny, you've got slay them all and dragons and dragonfly. And it's funny because there is a dragon card in this deck. And I was just thinking, there it is, look. And I was just thinking to myself, it was underneath a few other cards. But I just literally just went and it was there. So I'm going to take that. It's interesting that the dragonfly card came out and not the dragon card. I feel like The dragonfly is someone that you're going to meet on your journey. This is somebody who has been in a very sticky situation. Like the dragonflies are born from like stagnant swampy water, right? But they're very like butterflies. They kind of transform and then they can fly up and soar and be majestic and beautiful. But they have got a sting in the tail. It's interesting, they've got this element of air, this alchemical symbol for air there. But this is the alchemical symbol for water, I think, or earth. But I'm going to take it as water because it's blue. So they're born of the water and they live in the sky. Born of emotions and living in some sort of, and moving towards some sort of fantasy or dream. But they've got the sting in the tail, right? There's this thing again about, it's like something to do with your past, where you come from. It's like, little lady, give us a smile. No, I ain't got nothing to smile about. It's like, again, he, she, they, take it as it resonates. It's like, I'm just thinking about how beautiful dragonflies are. They're so beautiful. They're like shimmering, gorgeous creatures, but they have got that sting in the tail. And this is somebody you're going to meet on your journey. So I don't know. It's almost like, it says you need to slay the dragons, and this is the dragonfly. It's just somebody who, it's almost like it's like this is the power. This is the higher power. Not like higher power, but like, this is like something to do with the people who are in charge, right? Like the eye watching you. And this is like one of their little minions. Okay, I'm going to have to pull more cards on that. I don't know what this is, and I don't know if it's good or bad. Okay, so tell me about Pisces' journey. Tell me about the journey for Pisces, please. Oh, I ain't got nothing to smile about. The father there on the underlying. Yeah, so the father can indicate kind of, again, kind of controlling energy. It's almost like Hierophant Emperor energy. And again, I keep seeing that the Emperor here every time I look over at this deck. And what's underneath is this deception. Seven of Swords, deception. The Emperor can be a father, a boss, somebody in some kind of seat of power, in some kind of leadership role. And if they're watching you, it's because you're a threat. It's like you're a threat to the establishment. So you've got the Judge card. This has come out for a couple of other signs as well. I feel like it came out for Virgo. I don't know you a goddamn thing. Keep a record in my life. Talk shit, but I love you all the time. And I realize... The Judge. So this is your journey, Pisces. The critic, the diplomat, the advocate. Again, advocacy. This is what I'm kind of picking up on for you. The Judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. Again, that Tatvar is kind of like a similar thing, right? What is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and other. Ironically, the judges... So this is you, remember, okay? When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, the fear card up there, the moon card, wise discernment turns to painful judgment of self and other. Ironically, the Judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, and fear-mongering. This is the Judge out of balance, building walls, separating from other. When this same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the Judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, providing resources for those in need, and forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor. Love is the deciding factor. Awakening this archetype is essential for the complex times we are in. Get your Judge in order, the world needs it. When light, discernment, advocacy, rights action, and compassion rights action and compassion. When dark, critical, punishing, unforgiving, wall building. Go deeper. Osiris and the white feather of Maat. There was a white feather at the beginning of your reading, and I found it funny because I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. I meant to get it out, and then I accidentally must have put cards on top of it. There was a feather in Aquarius's reading yesterday, but it's kind of like brown and white. This is white. So and I was thinking it's like a white flag, right? A peace offering. The white feather of Maat. Gandhi had an incredibly illuminated inner judge. He was a lawyer. He practiced silence one day a week in order to hone his discernment while on his revolutionary path. The judge's energy is contagious. When we feel judged, walls go up all around. Similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. So it's like accept yourself and don't judge yourself too harshly, because if you can't accept yourself, you can't accept others, or something about accepting something in others and then being able to accept it in yourself. I feel like I want to put the white feather on the judge. I'm going to put it in the hand. My back's really hurting. This is you, Pisces. I feel like you don't want to build walls, right? You don't want... Maybe you're slaying your own dragons. Maybe, you know, your inner dragons. Your own fears, your own... you know, judgmental, darker self. Because it says that... And this is maybe the process. It's like... It's interesting if we look at these cards up here again. It's like when I was looking at them, this is the order that I put them out on. And I almost felt like it was like a process, right? You normally go from a child who believes in fairy tales to the jaded adult. But do you see, it actually, if you read tarot from left to right normally. So I did sort of think, oh, it's strange that, you know, maybe it's two people. But no, it's a journey where it almost goes like this, like being the child with the dreams, getting jaded, seeing the bad side of life, walls going up, barriers going up, and then you're bringing them back down again. It's like you're returning to childhood dreams. You're returning to the fantasy. You're saying this isn't, you know, this isn't what it should be. It should be this, right? This is what it should be. And now I'm in a position where I've got some kind of maturity or seniority or wisdom, and I don't have to accept the bad side. I don't have to accept the things that make us afraid. I don't have to accept that people get rejected from society. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to take steps. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not a reality. It's not realistic to be like, you know, I'm going to make it a fairy tale world for everybody. I'm just going to snap my fingers and it's done. But you can make a change and you can make steps and you can heal things that have gone wrong. You can heal the jaded, and you do it by telling stories. This is why you're talking about your tongue and your mind and communication. When people tell a story, when people share their stories and their experience, it's healing for those around them. This keeps coming through for you, Pisces. So you may literally be writing a book of your experiences, or singing a song, or writing poetry about your experiences. You may just be in a support group, right? Which could be indicated by the Ten of Cups. But it's almost like rewinding the tape, going back and healing the things that were wrong in the past. And it might not be, it may be too late for you. You've already had those experiences, but you can make sure that the world's better for your children and for future generations. Okay, very cool, very cool. I'm into it, Pisces. Great messages. Yeah, okay. I'm going to read the Father because I feel like it's the dragonfly, or it's connected somehow to the dragonfly. The Father, the Great Father, the masculine, the protector. The ocean in reverse there. There's no depth of emotion with you, or someone's not exploring deep emotions with the ocean in reverse. The Great Father, the masculine, the protector. Alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. You see the light and dark here as well. The light and dark with the judge and the light and dark with the father. Like yin and yang again, right? The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine, thus he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Like the ocean in reverse, that's like emotionally absent. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals, with the moon card, right, things that are hidden. Through absence of or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and the one who leaves us to the wolves. And there's the wolves, right, on that moon card. Here, yet gone, the champion and the failure. The father can neither resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. When light, supportive, strategic, regal, kind authority. When dark, disappearing, disappointing, devastated by failures. Go deeper, Saturn devouring his son, by both Peter Paul Rubens and Francisco Goya. Become a student of this masculine energy. Watch the father in movies, in Shakespeare plays. See the father as a pattern, not as a person or a personal. Read poems about the father. Sharon Olds' His Stillness. William Blake's Little Boy Lost. Okay. So again, this is some kind of journey that you're on. And again, I was picking up on like father-child here with these cards, right? About wanting to protect a naive energy, my hand's gone cold, from the harsh realities of the world, from the wolves. But then it's saying he also leaves you to the wolves. So, and again, it's that, it's everything I've been saying is coming back through, and I love it when I get verified by the cards. Whereas I've seen that Amy Pond and Doctor Who scene, the very first episode with Amy Pond in, where she's the little girl and he leaves and he's like, I'll be right back, and then he doesn't come back until she's an adult. Could be somebody returning with an apology here. The Page of Cups can indicate an apology. Again, like the father with the depth of emotion behind him is literally what I was picking up on here. Right, the father with the ocean behind, but the ocean's in reverse there. It could be someone who gets overwhelmed by their emotions, in which case the King of Cups would be in the reverse, but I wasn't specifically taking the cards like that today. Again, fear here, hidden things, secrets, connected with this father energy, light and dark. Okay, let's keep going. You have a very interesting fairy tale story, I have to say, Pisces. So, it's this feeling of somebody not being there for you when you needed them, which left you vulnerable, right? It left you like Little Red Riding Hood at the mercy of the wolves, and the father energy should have warned you. Father energy should have warned you about the wolves, but maybe he wasn't there. There's the Empress card. I saw the Empress in the Father of Swords. I saw the Empress in the pre-shuffle. It's coming through as very Piscean energy for me today. Again, there's kind of rose-tinted glasses, this kind of gentle mothering energy, nurturing energy. But it's like you had to be your own father in a situation. You had to give yourself your own advice. My throat's closing up. You had to give your own advice. You had to slay your own dragons, right? You had to be your own father. For some reason, you have to be the masculine energy. But then there's wisdom that comes with this. The sword is healing. The Father of Swords in the upright would normally be, it could symbolize someone who's an advisor. But again, I was picking up on that kind of stuff about, like, you know, my tongue's sharper than a switchblade. That's by a different song. Valerie Broussard, I think it is. I've already made a note to put it in the description box down below with all the other songs. This kind of like, I ain't got nothing to smile about, like I need to recognize the weapon in my mind. This is it. This is your journey, Pisces. This is who you are. You need to recognize the weapon in your mind, the sword energy. Maybe you've got strong swords in your chart. So have a look and see if you've got Gemini, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius in your chart. Specifically, your Mercury. See where your Mercury is, or your Mars. Mercury is the sign of communication. And action and duality. So I'm picking up that somebody may have Mercury in an air sign, possibly Aquarius. So yeah, recognize the weapon in your mind. Communication is your weapon. The pen is mightier than the sword. There's some kind of demon you've got to slay here. And your weapon is your thoughts and your words and knowledge and wisdom. But you're going to do it in a beautiful feminine way, in a nurturing way, in a forgiving way, in a way that encourages growth and love and gentleness. It's like it really is like bringing to light something that isn't okay, bringing to light something that's wrong. And it feels like a societal wrong that you're drawing attention to. You're waving that sword around, saying, look, this isn't right, this needs fixing, this needs changing. But you're not doing it from a place of vengeance, you're doing it from a place of love, because you want to I don't know why I'm seeing the tree like wrapping its arms around people, but it's like you want to nurture people. You want to change things so it's better for the people who come along after you. My left ear is ringing, so I don't know if that's symbolic for you at all. Okay. So then tell me about the dragonfly. Who's this dragonfly? There's the Ace of Wands and the Father of Wands. And the Two of Wands. You have a decision to make about this person, but they're showing through as having some sort of duality. Like, could definitely be a fire sign that you're dealing with here. With the double wands. It's a new start. It's a passionate new start with somebody who is very mature, very, very mature. It's like this person has a lot of passions. They have a lot of it could be somebody who's very confident, somebody who takes action to get what they want. It could be somebody who's a leader. They're probably very magnetic. They're probably very could be very sexy. Ones are to do with sex. So this is somebody who very charismatic, very compelling. It could be he, she, they, you're showing as both a feminine and masculine energy over here. So this person's done a lot of growth. They have shed their skin many, many times. They've evolved. They've become very, very mature. So you could have a passionate new start with this person, but they're not a player. They're not somebody who's going to come in, rush in and rush out. They're shown as the Father of Wands in the upright. So this is someone who's mature. They have a huge amount of control over their passions. This isn't someone who's hot-headed. They're going to have a tantrum. They've got that maturity. They've got the emotional control. So they are coming through as a bit of a snake, a bit of a cobra though. So it's almost like you don't want to cross this person. I feel like they've got a sharpness to them as well. I mean, they may have had similar experiences. Look at how these two wands are coming into a point. It's like these. I feel like you're coming together with this person. You've got a choice point here. It's like, are you going to take this path, or are you going to take a different path? Big jumps from the Ace of Wands to the Father of Wands. So if you go with this, it's going to happen quick. It's going to be fast, very passionate, very fast. So it doesn't have to be a lover. It could very well be, but it could also be somebody who sparks some kind of passion inside you, some kind of passion project. You may work with this person. You may meet this person doing something that you love to do, some kind of hobby. But there's a lot of passion and enthusiasm and excitement here, and it feels fast. But you've got to make a decision, or they've got to make a decision. are you going to come together or are you going to come apart? But I'm definitely picking up on something with the sting in the tail there. And with the cobra, they can strike. But why would they strike? Are they going to strike you? Are you going to strike them? It does say slay your dragons, but this is a dragonfly. I don't know if this is friend or foe, I'm going to be honest. It's like it could go either way. Okay, so Pisces. Unless it's your inner dragon, right? Your inner demons. Making a decision about something you're passionate about. But then I've got this watching energy. Okay, so tell me about the journey. So Pisces' fairy tale journey, the judgment, the judge and judgment, Hierophant, Son of Wands. Here's the Knight of Wands. This is the player. Doesn't have to be. It's not necessarily a player. If it was in reverse, I'd say player. In the upright, is somebody who's passionate. They take action. They go for what they want. They're a bit impulsive though. But then it's coming through with this very got all this black and white business. So your journey is something to do. It could be something to do with religion, with the Hierophant and the Judgment card. The Hierophant card talks about structure, society, especially masculine dominated society and tradition. So things like church, politics, you know, father again. The Hierophant is like a spiritual leader there, a spiritual father. He's holding some sort of key there. So you need to unlock something here. And you need to not be too judgmental of other people. So be open, be understanding, be like the church should be, right? Like, you know, Jesus says, he without sin cast the first stone and all that kind of business. So you could definitely have some kind of religious factor here to this. So it's like, don't judge others lest you be judged yourself, this kind of business. But then there's this redemption here with the Judgment card here. You've got judge and judgment, like, and the Hierophant. This is, the Judgment is like rebirth, hearing a call, knowing that you've got something to do. You may have some kind of spiritual calling here. It may be that you've had some kind of revelation where it's like, I need to change my life. I need to do something different here. And I've realized that I've got some sort of calling. There's something I need to do. Again, it could be that you're writing a book, you're writing a song, sharing your experiences. But I feel like it's coming in with this need to help others, and you're very, very passionate about it. It's like, I'm doing this. Nothing's going to stop me. They're giving me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, this is coming through very strongly. So hearing a call, it's like being brought back from the dead, or being redeemed in some way. I've got something to do. And you're very passionate about it, very fired up, feeling very creative about it. So then what's this? I can't help thinking this is you, like slaying your own dragons. Six of Pentacles on the reverse there, like wanting things to be equal. Okay, Pisces, I'm back. I've made some more space on my phone. I've uploaded what I've got so far. My video cut out. But the good thing is it gave me a quick minute to stop and think about what I wanted to say. So an example of what I'm picking up on here is like the Me Too movement. So Me Too, it was... there were a lot of high-profile actresses who spoke out about their experiences of Hollywood, and kind of the abuse that went on behind closed doors. And it's, as soon as one or two people spoke up, it's like there was hundreds of people speaking up. It trended on Twitter, the Me Too movement. Not just women, it was people like the kids that were in the Goonies and things, like the boys as well. Like, but then it's like, it spiraled then, and things came to light. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like speaking your truth enables other people to speak the truth, which makes things better, which clears the corruption, or at least that form of corruption, right? One stone at a time. So there's something like this where it's like you're being called to do some sort of creative project where you communicate. It's you know, the pen is mightier than the sword. It's communication. It's speaking your truth. That's what it is. Okay. The other thing that I was kind of picking up on, now I don't know how this is relevant, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was looking at this Hierophant and Judgment here, and I don't know why I was kind of like started thinking about Scorpionic energy, and the scorpionic habit to delve very deep into things. So for me, I'm doing it now where I'm like, I just want to keep going. Like some people can do 5-10 minute readings and that's it, but for me it's like, no, I need to get to the bottom of this. What is it, what's going on here? I need to delve deeper into this. So I don't know if there's something here that you're doing where it's like you have to delve deeper, you have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. It could be into your own shadow side. It could be a situation where you're like, something's being hidden, something's not clear with that moon card up there. So I was actually thinking to myself, it's funny because I don't think I've got any Pisces or, excuse me, Scorpio in my chart. And I went and just had a quick look at my chart, and I've actually got Jupiter in Scorpio placement. So that's like the biggest planet. It's like, it's actually really important. So I think that's where I get this you know, my love of mystery solving, and you know, like how my brain can't leave things alone, especially I've got Gemini moon as well, so it's like, and Libra, so it's like a similar energy that I think you're experiencing, where it's like, I can't leave this alone, there's something here that's not right, I need to uncover what this is. And it is almost like Pandora's box, isn't it? But that keeps on coming up. But yeah, Judgment card is Libra and Scorpionic energy. Hierophant is Taurian energy. Sometimes Capricorn energy as well. A lot of fire sign energy here. Air sign energy, Libra, Taurus. So yeah, it feels like a calling, because you've seen a different situation. You've stopped blocking, and now you're accepting, and it's changed. Something within you has changed. It's a big change. If you haven't experienced it yet, it's part of your journey. It's what's to come. It's like a rebirth of maybe like completely changing what you do for a living, or it's the white feather as well. Like, look at all these black birds, and then there's this white feather, black bird, white feather, black and white. There's a lot of yin yang kind of stuff going on in your reading here. Okay, so tell me more about the Empress and the Father of Swords. Why is the Empress and the Father of Swords here for Pisces? Pisces being their own hero in their own fairy tale. Like, going down the rabbit hole. Three of Cups talks about, it can be a party, it can be a celebration, it can be, you know, cheers kind of thing. Success, we did it. It can be friendship groups. It can be, you know, soul family, people who have been, people who feel like they're part of your soul tribe, your companions, the people who you've had shared experiences with, or you feel like you know them. It's just sort of like Two of Cups, but it's more social, it's more to do with friends. So maybe people coming from different backgrounds here. It's giving me Gwen Stefani's What You're Waiting For. Tick tock, take a chance, she's stupid. What you waiting for? But it's like Alice in Wonderland. Like, again, this element of like fantasy, telling yourself your own story, seeing things differently, being a little bit detached from reality, taking yourself on a journey, meeting strange characters, getting yourselves into sticky situations and getting them, you know, back out of them again. They're drawing my attention to the white rabbit, so maybe Jefferson Airplane. Okay, I need to know the nature of this dragonfly. What is the nature of this dragonfly? Is this someone who's a friend or foe? Is this friend or foe? We've got a lot of stuff here. So this is what's come out. What's not secretive is the Ace of Cups, a new love offer. Somebody coming in saying, look, I want to be a friend, or, you know, I'm interested in you, or, you know, let's do this together. This is like a new, you've got Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups. This is passion and it's love, or passion and friendship, passion and emotion. Okay, so there's a new connection here, but there's deception. Okay, it looks open and honest. It looks like this person's saying everything there is to say, or this person wants to be open and honest. The Seven of Swords is like deception, the Thief in the Night card. It's things being hidden, things being concealed, ulterior motives. But normally it's for good reasons. Normally it's a person is stealing the swords from the battlefield in the middle of the night so that the swords can't be used as weapons against them the next day. So you're saying you have to slay this person, and you've got the weapon. So this person's trying to steal your words, steal your sword so that you can't speak against them. Eight of Pentacles, you could work with this person, or there's somebody who's been working on something. Somebody could literally steal your words. Look, she's sat on a book. Somebody could literally be like, if you're writing a book, this person could be like stealing your work. It's like somebody who copies your homework. There's the Success. And the King of Wands. They've got the King of Wands twice, so very powerful energy, very... This person's got something up the sleeve. They've got tricks up the sleeve. Look, the snake is going up the sleeve. But the King of Wands has come out in the upright twice. So they're not showing as... There's deception here. There's definitely some kind of deception here. It's like this person isn't showing the hand, right? They're not showing the cards. But they're not showing as negative. Nothing here is like... It's not the King of Wands in reverse. New, very experienced. I feel like I should read a description of the King of Wands from one of the decks. I've not used this deck yet. This is this deck, but no, just give me a second. Okay. I'm going to read the description from this book. I've never read it before, so I don't know what I'm going to get. Success, reward and recognition for hard work. A choice, new, passion and emotion, very mature, experienced. But there is something deceptive here. They may not want to be deceptive. They may have to be deceptive. I don't know. The fact that this person isn't bearing everything, the fact that you intuitively, I think, know that there's something hidden with this person means that you're very guarded against them. There's a fear around this person. And with this, it being the dragonfly with the sting in its tail, and with this King of Wands, now it's not specifically Scorpionic energy, it's fire sign energy, right? But I was talking about Scorpio for a reason there. It's like the vampire. They may have a Scorpio placement. There's Scorpio going on here. Okay, so I'm going to read the description of this person. I'm very confused about this person. I don't know what the motives are. I don't know if they want you to know what the motives are. Testing your bravery. Do you fear vampires? Anyway, you shouldn't fear me. I won't bite you. And even instead, I bring you good news. I am a pure energy soul, and I have a clear vision of what I want my world to be. I do not use night to destroy. I use it to create. And I hate boredom. I hate daily routine. And I only drink the blood of the weak and the coward. But for the brave at heart, I offer my support and my strong arm. I want you to stand tall and to never allow doubt to interfere. You can achieve your goal. You can manifest your dream. I know you can. But you have to stay focused on a long-term view. And if you have chosen between biting or being bitten, then in response, just show your teeth. Pure energy, leading the vision, charisma, concentration, long-term view. So it's funny that I was getting that Killer Song by Valerie Brossard. It's the only way out of this thriller is if I am a killer too. So it's like this person isn't here to bite you. They're not here to hurt you, but they have got a sting in the tail. They have got fangs. They want to reward you for hard work. But you're saying you have to slay the dragon. So this person is going to respect you more. This person isn't going to respect you if you just lie down and bare your neck, right? They're not going to respect you if you're just like, yeah, treat me as a victim. They're going to respect you if you get up and fight, if you meet them, if you're their equal. So this is why you're being told to slay the dragon. What? Okay, so what do you have to do? Tell me about your journey. What do you have to do? Justice. Unbelievable. You've got the judge. judgment and justice. Do you literally work as a judge or in law or courts, or do you have something going on here with like the law or courts? I'm going to read the justice card. I get so into the readings, I'm like, what is going on here? I want to know everything about this situation. Justice, the glove of fairness. See how she has a sword, right? So this is you, this is the action you need to take. In any decision, fairness and equality are to be looked for. With my scale, I make my judgment. It's funny that I've got the feather in the hand, right? And it was talking about the white feather of Osiris, where it's like the person's soul is judged. It's like your soul's being judged, or you're judging other people's souls. It's like your soul's being judged. What's going on? In any decision, fairness and equality are to be looked for. With my scale, I make my judgment, and with my sword, I render my verdict. My mind is clear and square. I'm here to remind you that what goes around comes around. Your life decisions follow you, so you have to learn the lessons from your past mistakes. I only believe in truth and justice. I want you to live according to them. Don't let your temper get in the way. Remain objective and fair. Dishonesty is to be avoided at all cost. Take responsibility for your actions. The right decisions based on truth and sincerity are to be made. The truth of the matter is the only thing to be interested in. And whatever the case may be, justice will win. Keywords: fairness, objectivity, fair judgment, searching for truth, sincerity of the heart and mind. So this is what's happening. It's like your spidey sense is tingling with this person because you sense this deception. You sense that they're not being completely open and honest in the situation. They look like they are, but they're not. So your spider sense is tingling here. And you're kind of like some kind of scorpionic energy is triggering in where it's like, I need to get to the bottom of this mystery. Like, what does this person want? It's like this person's met the match, though, but justice is stronger. In the tarot, justice is major arcana. The King of Wands is not. It's a court card. So justice is going to win. Somebody's going to get the karma. Somebody's going to get karma. With the justice card and the judgment card and the judge card and the Hierophant card, this is like divine justice. This is like divine intervention coming in here. It's like we've weighed up the situation. We know whose soul's pure. We know who's acting dishonestly. It really feels like divine intervention coming in here. So this person, they're not showing. The only thing that's a problem here is this card and the sting in the tail and the fact that he's a vampire. But what's the dishonesty? What's the problem? What's being hidden? And that's what's scaring you. It's like if this person could just open up and be honest, you'd be okay. You'd know where they stand. But your guard is totally up because this person is very scorpionic energy. But you value justice and honesty and truth. Or you need to. Right, so let's get a few more cards and then we're done with this reading, because again, it's going to be another massive one. That Aquarius reading yesterday was so long. Clarify that Three of Cups for me, please. King of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel, yeah, you've definitely had a problem with some sort of boss or father figure or male in your life, or masculine energy, where could be that someone in your social circle, somebody that you saw as a friend, was actually maybe too interested in money, maybe greedy, maybe took money and didn't give back. This was somebody who was not stable, was not grounded, was not a provider. They were not nurturing. They should have been. They should have probably been the King of Pentacles in the upright, nurturing, always there when you need them, dependable, grounded, mature, but they weren't. So I think you could have cut them out. I need to know what that Seven of Swords is. What's the Seven of Swords? What's the Seven of Swords? This has actually landed on the Seven of Swords. So Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles in the upright talks about working as part of a team, working together on something, to make something work, to build. But this person's not a team player, or there's no teamwork here. It's like somebody's had to do something all on their own with that Eight of Pentacles, but they've kind of mastered it. So there's something to do with somebody not something to do with teamwork being negative. So somebody's walking away. There's something emotionally missing from this situation. So this person's out of a situation because somebody didn't put in the effort. Temperance and the Fool. So patience, 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 patience. Action, go. I told you it's going to happen fast. It's like there's nothing here to say that this person's communicating. There's literally no swords. No swords here with this person. This person is not, they're keeping secrets, they're keeping things to themselves. And it's something to do with walking away because someone's not been putting in the effort. But it's like it goes from 0 to 60. Like the Ace of Wands into the King of Wands, it's 0 to 60 with this person. It's almost like, pack your bags, are you coming? It's go time, are you coming with me? So temperance, balance, alchemy, healing, having one foot in, one foot out of a situation. Patience, 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 balancing out passion and emotion. So this person could be doing something here with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. They're balancing out emotions and passions, mixing them into something new. And then they're going to take some sort of leap of faith out of a situation. I feel like this person's leaping out of a situation because there's been dishonesty. I don't think this person wants to be dishonest. So they're taking a big leap of faith here. They're trusting this higher power. I feel like this person, it could be you, it could be something, your shadow side. But this person, you can see, is looking up at the heavens here. The Hierophant card's here. It's like there's some kind of divine intervention, divine calling, divine justice, knowing what you have to do. Knowing what you have to do, preparing for the leap of faith, trusting that it's all going to work out. They're giving me, I ain't so sure about this place. It's like this person's getting out of a situation because it's not good. And they want you to come with them. Yeah, look at that. 10 of Swords, stabbed in the back, ending betrayal. Finished, done, out. So you just have to be honest. You have to be honest. You have to be fair. You have to keep your soul pure in the situation. That's all you need to do. Sounds easier said than done, right? So tell me more about the journey for Pisces. Tell me, where's this journey going? Queen of Wands, you've got a match. You've got a match. You've got everyone except the Page of Wands. This is you being very confident, very sexy, very passionate about what you're doing. A huge amount of passion here and creativity for something, whatever you're doing. I feel like you could work with this person, or you're going to work with this person on some kind of passion project, or literally you're going to have a relationship with this person. You're a match though. This isn't normally your energy here. You would be Queen of Cups traditionally, or King of Cups. This is going to be explosive. I feel like when you and this person get together, and again, it doesn't have to necessarily be a relationship. It can be working on some sort of project together. But this person's walking away from something because there's been no effort. But I think they want to recognise and reward your success and your effort, possibly, or their effort has not been recognised. They want to be recognised for the work they put in. And they've been working alone on something, I think. So they're walking away, or preparing to walk away, and that's what's being hidden. And then, yeah, double King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands. It really feels like explosive. It feels like alchemy. But she's loyal. That Queen of Wands, she's gorgeous, but she's loyal. The sunflowers symbolize loyalty. So there's some kind of it could be like sexual freedom here, or hugely magnetic. I think with the Judgment card there, with all this Wands energy, it's like two magnets being drawn together here, or it's literally the two polar sides of yourself, your dark and your light, coming into balance with that Justice card. So do take it as it resonates. I'm gonna get you. I did this for Aquarius yesterday, and Capricorn got one of them as well, but this is my new deck that I'm going to be using probably next week. I'm going to get you some advice from the gods and titans and the goddesses and sirens, and let's see what you get, because you've got a lot of masculine and feminine energy here being balanced out. So let's just see. Sorry, it's just mess everywhere here. Let's see what they've got to tell you. Let's ask about this energy first. I've got this deck in my hand, so tell me about the masculine energy, please. Advice for the masculine energy. Can I please get some advice for the masculine energy in this reading? Advice for the masculine energy in this reading. Vulcan in the reverse and Hades in the reverse. Just picking up on kind of Hades energy. Inventiveness and death in the reverse. Where did I fling the booklet? Okay, Vulcan in the reverse then. I saw Vulcan first. So this is like Hephaestus. He was the blacksmith of the gods. I'm going to read the shadow side first. It says, think outside the box and go for the most creative solution. Hold your emotions in check and think rationally. Shadow side. Only using your head and never our hearts is not the best path. Vulcan, for all his practicality and skill, was not lucky in love. Venus cheated on him with hot-blooded Mars, partially due to Vulcan's coolness. Those who are different in some way are sometimes feared. Vulcan's appearance and his magical skills as a blacksmith made him difficult to understand for those who did not take the time to know him more deeply. Are there people you fear or are intolerant of because of their difference or skills? Again, that judgment, right? Or are you yourself the victim of this? Intolerance is a theme running through some of Vulcan's stories, so ask his assistance in coping with this, should it affect you in any way. Okay. Let's read Hades in reverse then. Hades is actually one of my favourite gods. Again, he's misunderstood. They're giving me to be misunderstood by the beautiful and good in this city. It's a Robbie Williams song, Misunderstood. Hades, he was treated badly by Disney. Hades, poor thing. He was actually in my opinion, one of the better gods. And I'm sorry to Jupiter in Scorpio in my chart. Sorry to Zeus here, but Zeus has so many stories where he's an absolute rotter. Hades he's just really a lot more chill as far as his stories go. The only kind of like bad thing he did, and again, if you compare it to Zeus, this is like small fry. And I'm not excusing this because it's clearly not the right thing to do. I'm saying it's a bad thing. But the only story where he's really acting badly is that he falls in love or has a huge passion for Persephone, and he steals her and he takes her to the underworld and holds her captive, which, yeah, absolutely, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not giving anyone that advice. But if you look at what Zeus gets up to, he's an absolute rotter. So but he's loyal to Persephone and he treats her well, and there's a lot of stories where Persephone has his ear and she kind of convinces him, for example, to allow Orpheus to take his wife out of the underworld, but he says you shouldn't look back at her, you can't look back at her, otherwise she can't leave. And he does look back, which is his own fault, right? But yeah, he was responsible for he's not like the devil. The devil's very different. Hades, Dispater and Pluto, he was allotted the underworld. Is not something he wanted to do. He literally drew straws, and it was his job to kind of make sure the underworld was kept in check. And a lot of people in ancient Greece and Rome saw death as they saw death as death and rebirth. They saw it as a cycle. So death could come in as a comfort sometimes if somebody was particularly suffering. Somebody had something that they weren't going to get better from and they were in pain. Death was seen as a gift. Now, I am absolutely not condoning anyone taking anyone's life, including their own. Obviously, go and get help if you are having dark thoughts. But it was part of life and death, right? It was a cycle. It was something that was meant to be. He was doing a job. And he also was responsible for putting minerals in the earth and ores in the earth and making sure there were minerals in the earth so that the crops could grow, and making sure there were jewels in the earth that could be mined, right? He was associated with wealth. So it's not the devil. So there is some kind of misunderstanding here, or some kind of I feel like this person's feared because of something that makes them a bit of a misfit, but it's like they're not actually bad. So Hades, in the reverse, God, they've got a lot of writing here about him. They talk almost as much as me. Hades was impetuous and impatient, and let's face it, not exactly honest all of the time. If we recognise these qualities in ourselves and seek to understand why we act in the way that we do, we will be better able to accept and make room for a new and healthier aspect. Scrupulous honesty is required for a start. This person, they need to be honest, probably honest with themselves and honest in general. So this could be somebody who, and what I'm picking up on is someone who lies because they're trying to protect themselves. There's a vulnerability, so they lie to defend themselves in some kind of way, or they have some sort of fear. My throat's seizing up, so this person's going to have a lot of difficulty speaking the truth. Scrupulous honesty is required for a start. While this darker face of ourselves may not be appealing to us, and we may be tempted to take it underground, the only way to truly change is to make it visible, at least to ourselves. By recognizing our own shadow aspects, we can make the changes that allow some of these aspects to transform or simply die away. So this may very well be an aspect of yourself that you've judged too harshly, an aspect of yourself that you're not honest about, your shadow side. But there's a huge amount of potential that can be tapped into here if you align the two aspects of yourself. Right, okay, let's get a card for the feminine side of this reading then. What's going on with the feminine side here? And you get that a lot where you're kind of like seeing kind of the misfits of society and understanding them and having sympathy for them, because you recognize that they've had some sort of wounding that's caused them to be that way. Boudica, unity. Okay. Boudica in the upright as well, or Bodicea, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Romans pronounced C's as hard K's, so Romans would have said Boudica. So I don't know, maybe Bodicea is the British way of pronouncing it. You will be victorious. Teamwork or a partnership may be better than going it alone. 3 Pentacles in reverse. Synergy is important right now. Delegation is useful. Boudica or Boadicea's very name means, bringer of victory. She did what no other could do in her time. She was a queen, a warrior, a leader, and a mother. She was real. She was Boudica. I'm saying Boudica because I learnt Latin. So when the Romans invaded Britain, things changed greatly for the native tribes. Some were wiped out, some were subjugated, and some became Roman allies. None were united. Okay, I take issue with that because I have a degree which has a aspect of Roman history, but never mind. None were united. When Boudica's husband, king of the Iceni, died, he left his kingdom to his wife, daughters, and the Roman emperor. But the Romans did not honour his will, as the Romans did not recognise inheritance of land through the maternal line. They annexed the kingdom just as if it were conquered territory, and the king's women had no leadership rights. Boadicea, a tall, strong, red-headed warrior queen, protested this. The Romans came to Boudica's village to pass their judgment and violently attacked Boudica and her daughters. They took all the food in the village and prohibited other Romans to trade with them. Additionally, the Romans slaughtered druids, who screamed curses upon them as the Romans landed upon the beach, burned down their sacred groves, and poisoned their holy wells. All these acts triggered a revolution within Boudica. She decided that she would not only war with Rome, but also attempt to reunite the tribes of the Britons. Joining with the neighbouring tribe, Boudica led an army that decimated a major Roman stronghold, the Romans certainly underestimating her ferocity and strategic prowess. So you're showing us bearing the sword, right? You're the one slaying the dragons. Battle after battle, she eventually reached Londinium, which she joyfully burnt to the ground. Archaeologists have discovered a charred layer of ash almost half a metre thick under modern London, courtesy of Boudica. Boudica was eventually defeated, though it is not known exactly where and when she died. She was given a royal burial, and her army was disbanded, though not before damaging the Roman army and achieving what the Britons had sought all along, respect. Her legend lives on. Boudica has become a siren symbol of unity and of revolution. Her energy has been channeled by everyone from Queen Victoria, who had a statue made in her honour that sits on Westminster Pier in London, to numerous painters and writers of books, movies and television series. When you feel downtrodden, are a victim of injustice, or think that you cannot possibly win, call upon the Queen of the Iceni to assist you. Her energy is one where you feel you are Her energy is one for when you feel you are unjustly being ignored and are not receiving the respectful treatment from others you deserve. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? Justice Boudica. Right, okay. History is always a bit iffy, so don't take anything as exact fact. There's a lot of grey areas in these kind of stories, and Boudica definitely had the stories that we do have of her. There's definitely a lot of motive behind the people who wrote those stories, but you can also find stories about Roman tribes that did unite, Britain tribes that did unite and that did work well with the Romans, and that did kind of benefit from the Romans being there, and obviously paid taxes and things to them as well. But they didn't. Again, there's good and bad in every side. There's good and bad in every side of every situation. So there's definitely something there to that. But I'm going to leave that aside because that's just my my classical specialism acting up again, getting a bit too involved, getting a bit too in deep there. But yeah, speak your truth, stand up for yourself, stand up for your rights, don't let people walk all over you, and change things for the people who follow. All right, cool reading, Pisces. Best of luck with that one. I'm sure you'll make more sense of it knowing your own situation. Don't obviously go starting any wars because that's ridiculous, but I do think you have to speak your truth and draw your battle lines, know your worth, stand up for yourself and stand up for others. And don't judge yourself or others too harshly. Build bridges, not walls. Right. Best of luck with that one. I've got a headache now. My back hurts, so I'm going. But bye-bye, Pisces, and I'll see you again soon.